do?
Yeah, so myPinPad is an authentication company. We're around providing a secure methodology to secure transactions, essentially on mobile devices, which increasingly the evidence is clear that all payments are moving towards mobile, with over 90% of us now shopping online on mobile devices.
So, the whole PIN on mobile must be huge for you guys.
Yes, PIN is such a well-established authentication process, familiar to all consumers who use it day in, day out in face-to-face environments. So we're looking at ways that the industry can leverage PIN really in both e-commerce and in face-to-face transactions. PIN on mobile and the recent announcements by Square have really brought this to the forefront of discussions here at this event, MPE here in Berlin, where there's a lot of discussion around the security of utilising PIN in a merchant device. We think that's a great opportunity and it's a good thing, but we also see an opportunity for you as consumers to put PIN into your own device to help alleviate the massive amount of fraud which is now growing exponentially in e-commerce post the rollout of EMV in the USA.
What changes apart from security do you see happening in the next few years?
I just think that consumers need to feel ever more secure in the way that they are authenticating transactions. And I think in some way there's an opportunity for banks particularly to give the consumer the choice. So one consumer's threshold for risk is different clearly from another's. So if as a consumer I choose to use PIN to confirm or authenticate every transaction I do, that may be my choice and I accept that degree of friction within the transaction. Another consumer might say, well, I don't want to use PIN unless it's over £500, in which case, reflecting what's going on in the industry with contactless payments, perhaps there's no need to. I think authentication needs to be appropriate to the transaction that's taking place, but what I think is appropriate may be different to somebody else's view. We're about giving choice and providing the ability for banks to step up authentication. E-commerce, particularly with the new release of EMVCo 3DS 2.0, provides that combination of bringing mobile into the solution and an out-of-band authentication. So we think there's massive opportunities for ourselves in 2017 and beyond to really solve those challenges that the industry faces.
I think you hit the nail on the head in the fact that all these challenges can actually be just diversified for consumer choice.
Yeah, very much so. The solutions are out there and I don't think it's necessarily one solution fits all, but the industry I think needs to select 3 or 4. The EBA talks around strong authentication being something you have, something you are, something you know. And our perspective on that is for the something you know element, there's nothing better than PIN because it's already so well established.
Now, a bit more about you guys. What are you showcasing here today at MPE? What are you proud of at the moment?
Yeah, we're really talking about our proprietary process, which, although we're focused on payments, essentially provides a secure I/O process for any phone or tablet, for any piece of information. So we see a vast array of opportunities for us as a technology platform, but specifically around payments. And I'd like to thank Square in a way for bringing this to the forefront. We believe we've got a proprietary method for securing that entry of PIN such that you can put it into a phone or a tablet, but be assured that it's as secure as putting it into a payment device. And we think that will go forward. So we're showcasing our technology around that. We've been at it for 3 years, so I think the time is moving in our favour. And yes, we were perhaps a little early 3 years ago, but I think our time is definitely coming.
What do you see happening in the future, for the whole payments industry? Do you see a move, to less restrictions, less regulation, or the other way around?
I think the challenge for regulation is to keep up with the pace of innovation. There's lots of conversations here around fintechs and disruptors coming in to change the way things are. And I think there's an element that the established players will react to that. And there'll be this meshing together. So in many ways, it's the same as technology sort of reaching out to mobile and generating opportunities, and there's opportunities for everybody to make those changes. But they've got to be ready to face up to those changes. Regulators need to stay as close to that change as they can to provide the assurance and to provide the rails for everyone to operate securely on.
Lastly, still early I know, but how have you found the first day of MPE?
The first day here has been really good, some great networking. I think what MPE does very well is it draws a big crowd of all the right people. So whilst content is somewhat predictable in some cases, the breakout sessions, the networking opportunities are second to none.